Have you ever wondered what is the hidden cause of obesity throughout the world? Have you ever wondered why do some people shy away from going to parties or other meetings? Or why do some people give up their passions or bury their talents? The answer are excuses. For me, it's very meaningful that excuses are so-called silent killers of our lives. The whole process of making excuses begins when you're a child and, for example, choose not to attend PE classes. Later, when teenagers turn down their friends' invitations of doing something together, for example, when two friends want to play football with a third one and they ask him about that, he says like, no, sorry, I have to watch Dr. House series, or I'd rather play computer games. And even later, what grown-ups do when they have to go on a diet in order not to be overweight or even obese, they say like, preparing a diet meal is too much time consuming, I'd rather eat a takeaway fast food. It takes less time and it's cheaper in addition. So, as you can see, excuses are everywhere in each part of our lives. When it's repeated, it seriously might lead to some diseases or ailments like obesity, as I mentioned earlier. But not only can it make our health deteriorate, but it can also destroy human bonds. Let's imagine a situation of a shy person who gets an invitation to a party or to a meeting, and of course refuses by making excuses. Then this person might become an introvert, or even in the future might not want to make new friends. Another aspect of the harmfulness of making excuses is not discovering human talents at sports, music, art, and so on. Let's again imagine a situation this time of a young, talented footballer who gets, who with a lot of potential, who practices, let's say, 3 times a week, and he looks at the sky and says, oh, there is a cloud in the sky, so it's going to rain, I'm not going to practice today. The same is with taking something new up, like a sport activity, for instance running, or other hobbies. Now, I would like to introduce you an example of people who, in my opinion, have no excuses. I am deeply convinced that all Paralympics participants are this kind of people. Especially one sport event inspired me to make such a speech. I have recently watched a video, a football game during the Rio Paralympics in Rio in 2016. This discipline is officially called 5-a-side blind football, as you can see. Every player here is, excluding goalkeepers and the referees, is visually disabled. I have to admit that before I watched that, I had thought that playing football with that kind of disability is hardly possible. Now when I'm watching it, I think that nothing is impossible, especially at sport. As Ryan Blair once said, if it's important to you, you will find a way. If not, you will find an excuse. I'm sure that getting rid of excuses might seem to be easier said than done. However, here comes a little trick that might be useful to you to get rid of them. So firstly, forget the word but. This triggers your mind to focus on the plans you need to make to reach your goals instead of the roadblocks currently in your way. So when you're saying, yeah, I'd like to, but just cut yourself and say, yeah, I'd like to. See the difference? So the next tip is connected with more complex goals, such as succeeding in a challenging career or building a business from the ground up. Try to eliminate your excuses by creating to-do lists. Break it down into itty-bitty baby steps. Remember, take only one step at a time. And last but not least, some excuses are caused by the fear of failure, fear of rejection, or just self-esteem issues. So maybe let's put a little risk in our lives. Because, as Albert Einstein once said, a ship is always saved by the shore, but that's not what it is built for. So, to sum up, maybe we all should give up making excuses, because why shouldn't we? Try it at first for a week, and if you accomplish something good in your life, and I'm sure you will, then repeat that. Trust me, it will give you profits. Now, I want to leave you with a question. What's your excuse? Thank you very much.